What's good? What's good? It's the one, the only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got Jaron Boots Ennis in the news, man. He has a fight coming up, but it ain't in the ring, dog. It's in the court, man. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. I'm gonna read this, man. It's been a super long day. You guys gotta bear with me, man. It's been a very long day. I'm very tired, bro. But let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so shout out to boxing.com. It says Jaron Boots Ennis files lawsuit against Now Boxing. I guess that's a promotional company or whatnot, seeking release and judgment in excess of $1 million. It says Jaron Boots Ennis is locked in for his next fight. Unfortunately for the unbeaten IBF welterweight titleist, it will take place in a courtroom rather than the ring. BoxingScene.com has confirmed that Philadelphia's Ennis has filed a 3-count lawsuit against Now Boxing, claiming breach of contract. The case was filed on February 7th with the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, where he seeks declaratory relief to void his current agreement with his estranged promoter and judgment in excess of $1 million. The heart of the complaint is focused on Ennis' gross inactivity in relation to the number of bouts promised from a signed agreement he entered in 2019 with Now Boxing. The 4-year agreement called for Ennis to fight 4 times each in years 1, 2. I'm sorry, y'all. The agreement was for him to fight 4 times in his first and second years of the agreement, and 3 times in the third and fourth. Okay, I had to reword that in my own way. So the agreement was he will fight 4 times in the 4 times the first year he was signing them, the 4 times the second year he was signing them, and the third year he will fight 3 times, and in the 4th year he will fight 3 times. So the 4th year being, I guess, last year, because he signed his deal in 2019. So 2019, I should have said it like that. 2019, he fights 4 times. 2020, he will fight 4 times, which I could see how that would be hard due to the COVID situation. 2021, he would fight 3 times. In 2022, he will fight 3 times. So I guess I don't know. I don't know how they worked it. Maybe it started in 2020. I don't know. Here we go. Ennis has fought just 10 times in more than 5 years since he signed with Now Boxing, which was previously run by Cameron Duncan prior to his passing earlier this year. Rest in peace, Cameron Duncan. The company is now ran by Kelly Duncan, Cameron's widow, whom Ennis is in legal team. Ennis and his legal team cite as not having an experience in that realm. So they don't think Kelly Duncan is experienced the way Cameron Duncan was. Furthermore, the complaint alleges that Ennis was not offered any fights by the company since his 10th round stoppage of Roman Villa in last July in Atlantic City. During the term of agreement, plaintiff has been ready, willing, and able to participate in the number of bouts specified in the agreement, and has made defendant aware of his willingness. So he's basically saying, you know, he's been willing. There's no reason why he shouldn't have been able to fight those. He's been ready to fight all those fights. No injuries or anything could have prevented that. They just didn't give him the fights. Attorney Arnold Joseph argued on the behalf of Ennis in the official complaint, a copy which was obtained by Boxing Scene. Yet the defendant has only given plaintiff the opportunity to participate in the following number of bouts. Year 1, so the first year, Jaron Boots Ennis was only in 3 bouts. Year 2, 2 bouts. Year 3, 2 bouts, and year 4, 1 bout. So I'm guessing that was last year, because I guess he only fought once last year, maybe, I think. Okay. To date, defendant has not advised whether Miss Duncan or defendant To date, defendant has not advised whether Miss Duncan or defendant is a licensed promoter. Plaintiff avers that Mrs. Duncan has absolutely no experience promoting professional boxing events. Plaintiff's last bout took place on July 8th, 2023. Defendant has failed to offer any bouts opportunities since that date. According to the complaint, Ennis was informed via official letter on January 15th that Kelly Duncan assumed control of Now Boxing. The notice was provided 13 days after Cameron Duncan's passing. Ennis' team acknowledged in the complaint that the 2019 agreement carried a clause that provided Now Boxing the unilateral right to extend his contract in the event he won a major title. So, that sucks. So basically, in the contract, it stated that if he wins a major title, they will extend. So instead of it being a 4-year, now that he's won the IBF world title in the welterweight division, they have extended that contract or his deal with Now Boxing. They've extended it. Wow, that's crazy. Ennis was elevated to the full IBF welterweight titleist. Ennis was elevated to full IBF welterweight titleist from his prior interim status after Terrence Bud Crawford failed to honor the terms of an ordered IBF title consolidation bout last year. The development has not at all helped Ennis' ability to land a fight with any kind of significance or otherwise. Ennis won 2 separate elimination bouts to position himself as the mandatory challenger in the IBF title previously held by Errol Spence. He was provided a chance to fight for an interim title, which his team viewed as an insurance policy by the event. In the event he wouldn't get a shot at the full champion. Errol Spence at the time, prior to his July 29th knockout defeat to Crawford. Ennis won the belt in a lopsided 12-round decision over then unbeaten Karen Shalakashukashenko last January in Washington, D.C. His aforementioned win over Villa was the lone defense of that title. The legal matter comes 4 years after Ennis was in a dispute with Chris Matadorf in Victory Boxing, who previously partnered with Duncan, whose relationship with Ennis became fractured following their split. Ennis at the time that his relationship with Matadorf was through Duncan, and it's been a long day. Ennis claimed that at the time his relationship with Matadorf was through Duncan, and that he was prepared to follow the latter out the door following the split between former business partners. Matadorf argued in private and through a legal system that a blinded contract remained in place, with the dispute threatening to put Ennis' promising career on hold. Wow, that's crazy. The case was settled in June 2021. Ennis' team seeks a jury trial for his complaint versus Now Boxing. While he remains without a confirmed fight date, the complaint alleges that his livelihood is impacted by the promoter's actions or lack thereof and progress of his career. I mean, rightfully so. He has to make money, and he obviously is very young in this sport. By reason of foregoing, justiciable controversy exists between adverse parties, which involves a substantial legal right of plaintiff, to wit, the right to engage in his chosen livelihood, to earn a living. And plaintiff thereof seeks excuse me declaratory judgment that the agreement is void. Okay, so basically, alright, but let's go. That's basically the realm of it. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Alright, man, so this is an unfortunate event, man. I really hate this. I hate that Jaron is going through this, because he's a young talent, and I feel like the future of the new generation, the future star of the new generation, man. He has so much potential, so much talent, power in both hands, can box orthodox, can box southpaw. I really want him to get his just due, because he has way too much talent to be sitting on a shelf. And unfortunately, these these things happen with some boxers, bro. When they have disagreements with their promoters or whatnot, they'll often just shelve them. Mikey Garcia had to go through it. When he had a disagreement with Top Rank, you know, it's unfortunate that these guys are, you know, a lot of these promoters, like they really don't just, it's almost like they don't care, bro. Like they don't care about how these fighters make a livelihood. They're just shelving them, and unfortunately, this is what it is. Now, granted, Jaron Boots Ennis is definitely an avoided fighter. Not everybody is willing to fight or get in the ring with Jaron Boots Ennis. I don't think that, I say that, but I don't think Terrence Crawford is ducking him, because I know a lot of people are going to talk about that IBF situation with Terrence Crawford. I don't think Terrence Crawford is ducking him. I think that Terrence Crawford is looking for only bouts that do something for him financially as well as legacy-wise, which, I mean, being honest, Jaron Boots Ennis, you know, he doesn't check either one of those boxes. But you got fighters like, you got fighters like Conor Benn, who's not really, I mean, they'll speak on it, but they're not really getting, no, I don't really think anybody's really in a rush to get in the ring with Jaron Boots Ennis, and that's unfortunate because he has a load of talent. But this is my thing, man. Listen, I hope that he can get, himself situated, because a lot of people thought that Jaron Boots Ennis was signed to the PBC, but he was not. He just had to deal with Showtime. PBC was doing fights on Showtime, the only boxing promoter, or not promoters, but the only I guess you could say boxing source or whatever was that was doing hosting events on Showtime. So obviously Showtime struck a deal with it. They would put Jaron Boots Ennis on the cards of PBC fighters. Now, I understand, while, you know, again, I pray that Jaron Boots Ennis can get through this, because he has too much talent to be wasted. I do wonder where he would go once this whole situation gets rectified, because my whole thing in that is, I don't think Jaron Boots Ennis should sign with the PBC. And I know that sounds crazy, because the PBC has the welterweight and the super welterweight division stacked up, right? But unfortunately, the PBC fighters are not as active, bro. They're not active. And Jaron Boots Ennis, to me, sounds like he wants to be active. And honestly, think about this for a second, bro. When's the last time you seen a PBC fighter, a top PBC fighter, fight often, bro? And this is not me knocking the PBC, because a lot of my favorite fighters are on the PBC, are with the PBC. Gervonta Davis, you know, David Benavidez, Caleb Plant, obviously well, I don't know if Deontay Wilder's with them anymore, but you know, Jermell Charlo, you know, I like a lot of these guys, but bro, these guys are not active, dog. Jermell Charlo fought once last year, and fought once the year before last. Errol Spence, you know, Errol Spence, another one of my favorite fighters, he fought once last year and once the year before last. You know what I'm saying? Jermall Charlo, you know his situation. Now, that's not all of that. That's not all the PBC fighters. I mean, that's not all the PBC fault, but just giving you an example. Deontay Wilder hasn't been active. You know, Caleb Plant, you know, only fought once last year. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I just don't think that the PBC is a good fit for Jaron Boots Ennis. I mean, though they have the good guys, maybe they can work out a deal where they can work with the PBC, but a young fighter that's in their prime, they need to be fighting no less than twice a year. And you know, these guys aren't doing that at the PBC. I feel like Jaron probably should go to DAZN. I see more consistency with DAZN. At least their fighters are fighting more often. But I really hate to hear this about Jaron Boots Ennis. Hopefully they can get everything worked out, because I am definitely a big fan of Jaron Boots Ennis, and I want to see this man active. I don't want to see him shelved. And they just waste his talent, man. This man has to feed his family. So come on, y'all come on. I hope it gets all worked out. Let me know what you guys think, man. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?